Assalamualaikum and a very good day to respectable Dr. Yusuf, the lecturer of Dynamics of Leadership class, and my dearest viewer. I'm Nuraznah, a second semester master student in educational technology. We'll briefly talk about contingency theory of leadership. Effective leadership is one of the most attractive qualities in an employee. There are dozens of theories that agree on which leadership style is best suited for improving team productivity and maintaining employee morale. The contingency theory of leadership focuses on how specific situations affect a leader's effectiveness and how a leader's ability to adapt can be their most important tool in workplace. What is contingency leadership theory? It supposes that a leader's effectiveness is contingent on whether or not their leadership style suits a particular situations. According to this theory, an individual can be an effective leader in one circumstance and an ineffective leader in another one. To maximize your likelihood of being a productive leader, this theory posits that you should be able to examine each situation and decide if your leadership style is going to be effective or not. In the workplace, there are dozens of factors that can affect a leader's effectiveness. These include things like the size of the team, the scope of a project, and the expected delivery date for a result. Different leaders, each with unique leadership styles, will respond to those variables in different ways. To lead their team well, managers and supervisors may need to either adapt their leadership style to the current situation or delegate some of their leadership responsibilities to a co-worker. The contingency theory of leadership is impacted by a range of specific factors in the average workplace, including maturity level of the employees, relationships between co-workers, work pace, management style, typical work schedule, goals and objectives, standards for behavior, company policies, employees' work styles, and employees' morale. There are several models contingent in these theories, and the first one that I'm going to talk about is the Fiedler model. To understand this theory, we will look at three different models for contingency leadership. The first is Fiedler's model. This model states that three important factors contribute to situational favorableness. To be productive, leaders must consider these factors. However, this theory also considers leadership styles to be fixed and unchangeable. Therefore, if a leader's style is not a good fit for a particular situation, they will need to be replaced by a different leader. How do we apply this model? According to Fiedler, more favorable situations require LPC leaders, while less favorable ones require HPC leaders. If a situation includes a good leader, team relationship, and well-structured tasks, leaders who are task-oriented will likely be more productive. Whereas if a situation involves a distant leader, team relationship, and an unstructured task, a relationship-oriented leader will be more effective. While this theory is widely taught and studied, some believe this model does not allow enough flexibility because it does not believe that leaders are capable of changing their leadership style. The next one is path-goal model. This model is primarily concerned with identifying processes, which is paths, that will allow each team member to meet their individual objectives, which is goals. Leaders who implement this model adjust their behaviors and expectations to positively affect their team's productivity. This goal requires the leader to be extremely flexible in their leadership style. They will have to find a way to meet each team member's specific needs to assist them in reaching their daily or weekly goals. In the path goal model, it is focuses on improving employee motivation, autonomy, and satisfaction to increase their productivity within an organization. To accomplish this, the model identifies four different leadership styles, which includes the directive clarifying leader, the achievement-oriented leader, the participative leader, as well as the supportive leader. If we look into the directive clarifying leader, it is used in situations where the leader tells employees what is expected of them and instructs them on how to perform certain tasks. This theory states that this style is the most effective when the employee's role and tasks are unstructured or ambiguous. On the other note, for the achievement-oriented leader, this behavior occurs in situations where the leader sets lofty goals for employees, expects them to perform at a high level, and shows complete confidence in their capabilities. This style is productive in environments that attract high achievers such as hospitals, scientific laboratories, and law firms. Meanwhile, the participative leader will play where the leaders who use this style to consult with their employees and ask for their input before making decisions. This behavior will be well received in a workplace where the employees are personally invested in the outcome and results of their work. Lastly, as for the supportive leader, it focuses on the satisfaction of employees' needs and considers their personal preferences. A supportive leader is as concerned with their employees' mental health and well-being as they are with their productivity. This style is suitable for work environments that can be stressful or mentally challenging. Last but not least, we have the decision-making model, which is also called the Vroom-Yaton contingency model, which is this particular theory believes decision-making is a crucial element of leadership and determines the relationship between the leader and their team members. Building and maintaining this relationship directly affects the leader's success. As for leadership styles, this theory distinguishes 5 types of leadership styles, which includes autocratic A1, autocratic A2, consultative C1, consultative C2, and collaborative G2. As for A1, the autocratic, leaders with this style believes that whatever information they have is enough to make the decision and they require no additional input from their team. On the other note, autocratic A2 is not as extreme as A1. This type of leader consults with their team as a group to gather information and then makes the final decisions alone. As for consultative C1, this leader consults with their team members individually to consider everyone's unique opinions. They will take suggestions seriously but will make the final decision alone. On the other note, consultative C2, this type of leader will consult at a wider level. They might organize a team-wide meeting to discuss a situation at length. They will gather suggestions but will eventually make a decision themselves. Lastly, as for collaborative leader, it will focus on reaching a consensus. These leaders organize a meeting to discuss the situation and then facilitate the discussion and ask every team member for input. The decision is then made together based on a vote. While contingency leadership models diverge on some points, they all share a common thread. The overlying viewpoint of the contingency theory of leadership is that effective leadership is contingent on the situation, task, and people involved. Different leaders, each with their own leadership style, will respond differently to a myriad of factors in the workplace. Among the factors that can affect a leader's effectiveness are things like project scope, the size of their team, resources, and deadlines. According to contingency theory, leaders will always find particular situations that challenge them and must be willing to acknowledge that their success partially depends on their co-workers. Therefore, to be great leaders for their teams, managers, supervisors may need to adapt their leadership style to the current situation. Leadership education and training can help professionals understand and respond to the complexities of the workplace and excel in the leadership roles. So that's all from me. I'm wishing you have a good day and thank you for watching.